got another big test, UNLV. You can just talk about what you took from the Kansas game, and then what momentum, if any, you have going into this UNLV thing.
Well, I don't sense that there's any momentum. We've been in a number of games recently, and you look at Wichita, we've had 2, 4, or 5 minute segments, big time swings, getting down 10-0 and then giving up the 11-point lead. I think you'll find some similarities in the BYU game, and obviously with Kansas, it kind of hit me over the head like a sledgehammer when you have 2 different halves like that. So we've got to, we're in the midst of looking at a lot of numbers and game tape and trying to eliminate some of those runs. Obviously, you want to extend positive runs, but right now we've allowed things to get away from us. That's been a big focal point for us, and so we've got a few things to fix. Looking back on the Kansas game, we're still trying to make some adjustments, and two big turnovers late in that game and a missed layup. I think otherwise it's a little bit different story, but obviously was real proud of the guys for bouncing back. But we've got a week preparation for a really good UNLV team, and just jumping back in the saddle here with finals week.
I know you're big on those 4-minute segments, just how you chopped that lead down and kept everybody's heads up, because when it was 42-21, I'm sure there was reason for despair, but you guys didn't seem to show any.
Well, looking back at the game, I thought it was a nice start to the game. I guess you look at it maybe like a heavyweight fight, 15-round heavyweight fight. First 3 rounds, I'd say, were about where we needed to be, and then up until about the 8th round, we got pummeled, and it was a combination of not making very good plays. Defensive transition got away from us. We had some young kids that scrambling around and gave them open looks, unguarded guys, which we can't tolerate, defensively, to give a team like that too good of open looks. And then we made a number of mistakes offensively, not executing. Once we got to the 9th round, I thought it was, 9th all the way to the end of the bout, and maybe it's too bad it wasn't an actual heavyweight fight, because maybe the judges would have erred on our side at the end. But it was a bucket too short, and the resilience was terrific, but at the same time there were plenty of things that we need to fix, as we've talked about the whole year, and going into that environment and bouncing back means a great deal to us. And I don't find any momentum in it. I think there's some confidence, but at the same time we need to be on edge, and if we can fix a few of the issues that are broken right now, I think we could have a special team.
Apart from the resilience, which kind of seems like the obvious factor on this, especially over these last few games where you see those similarities, what are some of the real positives you've taken away from this tough stretch of game, and is there something in particular you hope to accomplish at UNLV this weekend besides just a W?
Well, I think I'm pretty darn pleased defensively overall with our game plan and our guys' ability to defend. It's been a little bit of a struggle defensive transition. That's where things got away from us with the Kansas game, and not recognizing certain situations. It was a little bit new for us. I thought our guards in Kansas needed to get back, and oftentimes we had a guard on a post, taking away the early look, and our bigs were the last guys down the floor, and instead of them stopping and maybe guarding perimeter defenders, which we talked about in the pregame, they continued to run to the post. So consequently then we're double teaming guys at the post and gave up open threes. We had 9 points in 3 threes that way, and I think we need to get back to some of the fundamentals with our team defense. We still have a number of freshmen that are playing some minutes, and there's some breakdowns and mistakes that we're making in that environment. That's the big thing. Overall, we still haven't been out rebounded in a game. I think we lead our conference in rebound differential, which is a positive thing in light of some of our opponents. And offensively, we lead the league in points per possession. and near the top of the league in field goal percentages and points per possession field goal wise. So, I think we're doing a fair number of things well. It's turnovers and it's some of the scramble mode defense, whether it's transition or finishing a possession. I think that we need to really dial in.
Seems like BYU and Kansas both were able to take Jakob Podol out a little bit. Was it something they were doing, or is it just Jakob learning as a freshman, and kind of what are you seeing from him at this stage?
Oh, did you watch the BYU game?
Yes.
Watch it closely. I mean, I didn't realize what was going on until I watched game tape afterwards, but it wasn't basketball. It was a different form of rugby or Australian rules football or something that was a little unusual. I'm really proud of him for keeping his composure, because there was an opportunity I'm not sure I could have with the amount of contact that took place in that game, and we spent an awful lot of time talking about fouls and hand checks and that kind of stuff, but it was a little bit out of control in the post. So hopefully people can take a close look at that on a national level, and we're trying to figure out why points are down and how we can maybe open up the game again. I think we need to take a look at what takes place in the post, or we need to start changing the way we coach defensively if it's going to be allowed. So it's no secret. I mean, Jakob's a guy they're throwing on draft boards, for whatever reason, first round draft picks, and it's no different than a kid that's a 5-star kid in an AAU basketball game. You play against a team and a player that's got a little notoriety and is being talked about in those ways, and you're going to have a couple football players that might want to take you out. You're going to have a little bit of focus to make things difficult. So I don't see a step back. I think it's very natural what's taking place, and he's doing a nice job on the floor for us on both ends. He needs to be stronger around the rim. And continue to focus on his rebounding and assignments, but it's not a step back, and it's not, like anybody's taking anything away. I think it's a normal progression.